Hi everyone, welcome to another video. Today we are going to be creating a landscape inspired by the idea of fairy realms. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, then feel free to follow along with me and let's get started. So I hate to already mess this up. Oh, I loved how pretty this turned out. But it is not realistic for me to do the painting diagonally, of course. I am so excited for this painting today. I have so many ideas. I have all of these supplies. Oh my goodness. Look at these brushes. God. Ooh. I got too excited. Turning up my lights by accident. There we go. I have, I never have these out, but I can create little dots easier with them if I want. And I have this background that is inspiring me quite a bit. I hope it inspires you too. So let's just fix it up a little bit. Look at these adorable tiny things. I thought, ooh, tiny butterflies. I thought that they were going to be paper, but they're actually like plastic or acrylic or whatever. So cool. I'm doing this based off of a terrible little sketch here. I think that I'm going to try to do a little more than what I just drew there. I also finally have one of these like paint tube squeezers, so I'm hoping I can get out some of my ancient paint and be able to use up more of it. It's expensive, it's worth it. I want to use every single drop of this gouache. It's my favorite gouache. Winsor & Newton. Okay, definitely gonna be taping this down. But do we want a border or do we just want to tape it down like to make sure it doesn't wobble? Borders are normally quite nice in my opinion, so I think I will create one. Even the tape is butterflies. I wasn't planning on painting butterflies. Maybe I'll have to. We'll see. Okay, you don't need to watch me struggle for a minute here. All right, I'm gonna start by doing a really light sketch. I don't want to get too caught up in the sketching because I find that I start painting over it and I hardly use it. If I do a bunch of details anyways, I hardly use it. I just want to get the general gist of where things are going to be. And if there's any perspective that I need to use, then I'll know based off the sketch. I should be working on my perspective more. It's so intimidating. I've gone through a few courses, but every time I just don't practice enough. Oh, please don't mind my insanely bright sleeves. And this bracelet doesn't exactly match, but I thought it was so cute for the fairy theme. I couldn't help it. Okay. My chair's so noisy all the time. So I'll try to sketch out a bench. I'm using Arches paper. It's not exactly, I'm not a watercolorist, but it's not my be-all, end-all paper by any stretch. It's just what I had. I personally like a paper with more tooth to it. This feels quite soft. It's not my favorite actually. Okay, so if I want to be looking at this from sort of like a little bit of an angle, I would want to see more of this side than this side. Normally I should be drawing an actual perspective grid, but, well, I think you can tell that I don't want to. I'm gonna shave that off in a second. This was a bad idea. All you can hear is the bracelet. I'm gonna move it to the other arm. There we go. Oh, curves mess me up. Yeah, this is incorrect in some sort of way. I'll have to look up a reference in a second. So I didn't want the bench to be fully facing the side, but it kind of just makes sense with the references that I have anyways, so that is what I'm going to do. Okay, now that I've kind of got the structure down, I can start to make it more stylized. And I don't think this is showing enough of the side. See, I'm getting too focused on one element, but it is meant to be the main element, so it makes sense to get focused on it. I don't want it to be what everyone looks at and then it's messy, not correct. I find it so hard to be symmetrical with spirals. I'm constantly unable to get the right symmetry there. Oh my goodness. Alright, already I'm like, I wish this was smaller because I wanted to have more of a perspective going on where like things in the back were small and the things in the front were big. Wanted it to kind of be covered a little by other things. And big tree here. I want to have like a bit more of a clearing so you can see more flowers. Maybe I'll do like bush. Maybe there's sort of a clearing over there, but the composition won't be balanced anymore. Kind of want this to be your, not you, me. I want this to be my little focus area. Okay, I made the executive decision to make the bench smaller and hopefully I can paint over all of that eraser scuff. Okay, let's just try this. I think I'm gonna start like light to dark, and I want it to be more almost watercolor. Well, not almost, that looks like straight up watercolor. Am I gonna get rid of the sketch? This is what I mean. Oh my goodness. How many times have I said, oh my goodness, in this video? I can kind of see the pencil underneath. I really just wanted to be intentional about the lighting in this piece. I wanted it to be, well, ethereal, I guess. I forgot to add lightness to that. It's okay, the more water we add, the lighter we'll get. So I can't see my sketch anymore, which honestly might be a blessing anyways. So I'm going to try just using water to remind myself where a few elements are meant to be, like the path. Oh, I don't want to cover up this prettiness here. Oh! Well, sacrifices must be made. Since this foreground tree is furthest from the light, I kind of want to make it the darkest. I'm not making it super dark green because I want to be able to use greens later on as well for the foliage, and I just don't want it to be too much of the same color. So I'm doing more of a blue. I worked from back to front on the painting so that the background would be easier to put in. And then when things are nullified by having foreground elements, it just looks more realistic anyways. Like, I probably didn't have to have a tree behind these, this big one, but it looks more realistic to have these little edges of the other trees coming through, I think. So I think this bush won't be cut off and this bush will be cut off. And I'm gonna add in just a bunch of foliage. I'm gonna put in flowers. I should probably, again, we gotta go back to front. Well, I think that I should go back to front. So I gotta start back there again. Oh. Oh. Okay, it's a new day, and I have completely forgotten how I sketched the bench twice. So we're going to wing it once again. But this time with paint. It sounded like I said with paint. With paint, I mean with paint too. With paint too, let's be honest. I also have the most dried up thing of paint here. I think I'm gonna just dissect it. Anyone else do that? I have another thing of white, so it's fine, but look at that. Oh. I can still use this. Oh. I was definitely most scared for this part. So I think it's possible that one of the problems I'm having with this is that flowers, I believe, seem to come in more, how do you say it, like more plentiful bunches than what I've been putting them in. So instead of just like these random small amounts, I think I should have them in more in bunches. Okay, I'm gonna move on to like this sort of section now. Obviously not this, like there and there and over here. Try to just buff it out more. I wish that I would have kept how bright this area was before, and maybe did use the colors that were already there instead of adding green to it. I can try that again in the future in a different art piece. Since this is on the side that is not where the sun is, I'm gonna make it a bit dark. Although gouache dries lighter. The darker colors dry lighter and the lighter colors dry darker. So that is kind of the trick to it, the thing you gotta watch out for. Oh, as you can see, this tape did not stay down whatsoever. I should have just used the painter's tape I had, but I wanted aesthetics, and now I'm suffering for it. I just gotta try my best to avoid that border. I don't know if I can do it. If not, I'll add white to the border. Now, just as I said I wanted to do with the area here, I'm trying to use the colors I already have instead of making the trees brown. That should be brown probably, honestly, but again, I want that pink in there, so it's difficult. So I was gonna make it like a dirt path. And with that color down, I'm going to try adding water and mixing it with the color that's already there. I'm also worried about water drying in these gross pools like they do with watercolor. Okay, If I don't like that later, I can still keep layering. I forgot that there was meant to be a bush here. I don't know yet if I'm going to put one or not, or if I'll just like leave those flowers. I'm getting a little quieter because I'm not sure if I'm liking how it's turning out, but I'm just picking away at it bit by bit. I'm trying to give these things more organic edges because it's not going to be a path, a dirt path in the middle of the forest isn't going to be a straight sort of curve, I don't think. It's hard to do these things after the fact. I wasn't thinking, and that is why I try to do the background before all of the foreground plant elements. I'm gonna try to lighten up some areas and see if that makes a difference. I think I'm also gonna take the tape off just because it's kind of distracting me. I mean, there's a million layers of tape here. It's kind of distracting me from seeing the whole picture, you know? I'm pretty surprised and kind of happy with myself that I didn't go outside of the border with the paint too much at all. That always happens to me. I always have some paint seep through. Hopefully I can keep this up. This could ruin everything, but I would like to add some little pixie dots, some glowing dots that I like to imagine are pixies. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that for this painting. All of my paintings seem to turn out more impressionistic than I intend, but that's all right. I would love to know what you think of it in the comments. Please like and subscribe for more videos. I post videos every single Sunday and shorts every single Friday, so I hope to see you there, and take care.